Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my Wednesday afternoon Facebook Live. I am a little bit early, so I'm going to give this a couple minutes. Better than not here, like so often happens. Whoops. All right. Got everything all lined up. So today I'm going to create a Father's Day card for you, and I'm going to use two different stamp sets. One Sailing Home, which is a nautical stamp set, and the other one is Best Year, which has got some super great greeting pairings. I've used it quite a lot. I find it a great one, and it is carried over into the new annual catalog that launched on May 4th. So, I just got, like I said, I'm a couple minutes early, so I don't want to rush things. We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to create some texture on a piece of cardstock using the Simply Scored tool, creating embossed stripes, if you will. We used to have an embossing folder that did that for us, but it has been retired for a few years now. So I've come up with this way of doing something very similar in effect, with a tool that you quite possibly have in your stash of goodies. Okay, so my name is Sheila Keith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Parkland County, Alberta. I've been a demonstrator for 8 years and really trying to find my way with not being able to hold these in-person classes. So this is why I'm coming to you today and every Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So I'm just going to switch my cameras over here and we're going to get started. I'm not sure that I did all my alignment properly on my camera, so I might have to do a little bit of that. Nope, she's all good. So this is the card that we're going to create today. Sort of nautical, red, white, and navy with a lighthouse, Happy Father's Day, and then inside to the world, you are a dad, to me, you are the world. So let's get started on this, shall we? Here's a simple score tool. I tend to use the scoring part of my trimmer more often than the Simply Scored, although when I'm doing preparation for a larger class or whatever, this is quite quick. In our kit that I have here, envelope, of course, I have 8.5 by 5.5 Night of Navy scored at 4 1/4. I have a little piece of white that is a 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches, and a Night of Navy that is 5/8 by 2 5/8. A real red, which is the one that we're going to score, that measures 4 by 5 1/4. I have a Whisper White that also measures 4 by 5 1/4, and a Whisper White that measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So to create the lines that we have here, I'm going to put it on my Simply Scored board, nice and tight in the corner, and I'm going to use the larger ball end of my stylus, and I'm going to, every 1/4 of an inch, pressing fairly firmly, create a score line every 1/4 inch. We'll go for a ways until we get close to the corner, and then I'll flip it over because it's really hard to score when you're right-handed close to the left side, because you need to be able to hold on to your cardstock. Okay, I'm just going to flip it over and then just do the rest of them out to the edge. And that creates striped effect embossing. So that's all we need this for. A bit of cutting and a bit of embossing to do. I think I'll do the embossing first. So let me bring in my die cut machine. So this is going to be the larger, so the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 piece of Whisper White. I'm using the Painted Textures embossing folder. One. And the gray platform, colored platform, or the specialty plate as it's called. That one. And then we're going to do a bit of cutting. And then we should be able to put this out of our way. Okay, so one of the things that I want to do is cut a little window in the red piece that we've embossed. And I'm going to bring, I'm still using my magnetic plate that we had from before, until such time as Stampin' Up! Has one that works well. Because I just find it so much easier to have my dies held for me so that they're not moving on me. I'm just going to turn this at a bit of an angle so I can see better. You can't see better. I'm going to line this up in the middle. So there's kind of a point. I'm going to put that on that center score line there. So this is the die from the Tasteful Touches frames, I believe they are called. And it has, I'll show you after I cut it out. It's not stitched, but there's a bit of a frame that it embosses as well as cuts. So we'll save this and use it on another project. But I don't know if you can see that there is a little bit of an embossed frame around where we cut there. Okay, and then I might as well get all this cutting over and done with. I have a scrap of white here that I'm going to stamp in Memento. Lighthouse image. Okay, and then we're going to cut that out. And then I can get the emboss machine out of our way. It just takes up so much space in the field of vision when I'm trying to demonstrate to you. So just line that up around the image. All right. Okay. What I want to do, I'm just going to put a piece of paper under this so it doesn't bleed through to my mat. I'm going to add a little bit of color with my Stampin' Blends. So I have the light balmy blue here. I didn't cut that very straight. Oh, wow. I'm going to color the water. Really don't need to use multiple colors. There's so much detail already from the stamp. And then I'm going to add a bit of red I'm really not very happy with this. Oh well. Catwalk at the top of the lighthouse here. We'll just add some detail, and on the little roof below the beacon. Just to add a little bit of interest. And then down here, we'll add a stripe of red. And in here, just to add a little color. I think that looks pretty good. All right. Now, this piece that we stamped on, or sorry, embossed on, and this piece that we cut out are going to fit together like this. And then the lighthouse is going to be popped up. I want to add some birds behind where the lighthouse is going to go. And even though there's already texture there, if you hold it for a moment, the ink will transfer. Because they're smaller images, if it was a bigger image, it might not work as well. I know it won't work as well because of the texture that's on there. And some of these birds are going to get covered up by the lighthouse. Okay. That's all we need the black for. And then, where are my little pieces? Okay, so the rest of the stamping, we might as well do that, and then we can assemble. With some Night and Navy here. I'm going to stamp on our 1/2 inch by 2.5 inch piece of white. Happy Father's Day, and this is from the Best Year stamp set. And I apologize if my head is getting in here because I'm just trying to make sure this is centered and straight. There we go. And we'll let that dry. And then we have our other piece of white right here in front of me that I can't see if we're looking. I'm going to put a sailboat in the corner. And a sailboat in the corner of my envelope. Just set that aside. And then I'm going to bring my greeting on and do that in Night and Navy as well. So this is the "To the world you are a dad. Sorry, to the world you are a dad, and to me you are my world." Okay. Oh, it looks very crooked to me, so I think I'm going to try this again. Oh dear. All right, let me bring my scrap paper in. Obviously the sticker on this is not mounted very straight, so I need to figure out which way to. This is straight. Okay. It's much better. Shoot. Oh, really? Okay, so I just made a real big mess of my red sheet. So I'm going to quickly cut another one and do this again. So you can see me do this again. Yep, dropped my ink pad right on it. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this again. So every quarter of an inch. So from 4, so 3 3/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/4, 3. And then turn it. And then we have to cut our little window again. Yep, that's what happens when you have a cluttered workspace. Just kind of eyeball center. The ink is closed, so we shouldn't have that problem again. All right, let's bring all our pieces in here now. So our base, I'm going to burnish that fold. I'm going to glue the white piece that we stamped our birds on directly onto the Night and Navy base. This one is going to go on the inside. It's the straightest. Now on this piece, I got some twine from the Truly Tailored Suite in the mini catalog, and I'm just going to double it up. I don't know, about 30 inches or so. And I'm going to try and get them even here. And I'm going to wrap it around at the bottom. And we can move this exactly where we want it later, but we'll get the knot tied before we adhere this. And you want to pull it a little bit taut because it will relax a bit once you tie your knot. Just making a knot. And you can trim that after. And I want the knot to be a little bit more towards the right, so we can, if you just bend it a little bit, you can move the twine. And just trim that off. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. And here I'm going to use quite a few because it's going to hold that whole panel up, and we want it to not flop at the middle. That backing paper off. I'm going to glue this little greeting onto our piece of 5/8 by 1 3/8, or 1 5/8 piece of night and navy. And we're going to put 4 little dimensionals on it, just so that we can go on either side of the cording and it won't get hung up on the cording and flopped around on us. So 1 in each corner. And then just kind of center that over our cording. And then kind of center it between the knot and the left-hand edge, like that. And then, maybe I'll use little ones for this too. It works better with my tweezers. We're going to put the lighthouse on. Whoops. So I wanted the water kind of overlapping the opening a little bit like that, and kind of centered it. And that's it. There we go. So a happy Father's Day card using Sailing Home and Best Year stamp sets and the dies. There's actually a set of dies that come with this set as well that cut out 2 different sailboats, a ship's wheel, all kinds of things, not just the lighthouse. And here's my original one. If there's anything that I can help you with, please drop me a note. If you order online using the host code shown and your order is $60 or more, you will be automatically entered into our annual catalog celebration that is on May 29th, all day, or not extravaganza, sorry, not celebration. And it's an all-day online event, but everything is recorded, so you don't have to sit in front of your computer all day. You can come back to it or watch what you can when you can. And there are going to be videos and posts all week, starting the 23rd, leading up to the event. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate your support. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day